You're out on the street, standing still, talking to someone you barely know. Your baby, safe in your womb, has been calm and perfectly still for hours. Absolute peace. Then, the stranger raises their voice, takes a tiny step closer, uses a high-pitched tone, and speaks to you. And suddenly, you feel it. A kick, then another. A sharp, sudden movement, almost like a vibrational warning that makes you jump. But when you're relaxing on the couch, hugging your mother or your husband, people with much more familiar and often even louder voices, there is absolute silence. No frantic kicks, only a peaceful stillness. If you've experienced this, you know the exact feeling. It's a mix of surprise and silent amusement, as if the baby is asking you, "Who is this?" Most people call it a coincidence. Gynecologists will often tell you it's just a normal movement triggered by an external sound stimulus. And technically, they're right. But researchers and evolutionary neurobiologists who have spent their entire careers studying intrauterine fetal development will tell you something that none of these mundane explanations have ever managed to capture. What feels to you like a random kick triggered by noise is actually one of the most complex, sophisticated, and incredible threat assessment and protection systems ever produced by human evolution. And the baby executing it has literally no idea they are doing it. Let's start with the theory everyone takes for granted. The fetus kicks because it hears a loud sound. Childish input-output logic. The closer or more high-pitched the sound, the more the fetus moves. It sounds perfectly logical. And for a very long time, this was the dominant narrative in fetal developmental psychology. Here's noise equals moves. End of story. It sounds reasonable, but it's also completely wrong. To understand why, we need to look at what happened when researchers finally started testing fetal auditory memory rigorously. One of the most mind-blowing studies was conducted, and it dismantled the random noise theory entirely. They essentially placed high-precision fetal heart rate monitors on pregnant mothers in their third trimester and played them the voice of the mother, the voice of a relative, and the voice of a complete stranger. They tracked everything: heart rate, motor activity, kicks. When they cross-referenced the movement data with vocal frequencies, the results froze the entire biology department. Movement didn't simply spike based on volume. The fetal heart rate and activity magically decreased and induced a state of complete calm when the mother was speaking. But as soon as an unknown voice or a vocal cadence, never processed before entered the room or the hearing range, the heart rate experienced a microacceleration, and the spasmodic movements began, the famous kicks. It wasn't a mechanical reflex. It was an active threat assessment. But here is where the situation gets even more unbelievable. Fetuses weren't just analyzing the tone of the stranger's voice. They were literally measuring your biochemical reaction to that stranger. Remember the basic rule of evolution: survival at all costs. When a person you don't know enters your personal space, your brain produces microscopic, invisible variations in cortisol and adrenaline. We are talking about infinitesimal amounts, electrochemical variations of which you, on a conscious level, are completely unaware. You keep smiling politely and making small talk. But your placenta doesn't smile politely. The placenta is the most paranoid radar in the universe. It detects that spike in stress hormones and instantly converts it into a signal for the fetus. It's as if your body silently blew a warning whistle. Blood pressure changes slightly. Your breathing frequency suffers a microscopic fracture. The amniotic fluid transmits this metabolic and biochemical fluctuation, So, when you feel that kick while a stranger is talking to you, it's not the baby saying, "Hey, I hear a funny voice." That kick is a biological response from the fetus that has perceived your involuntary stiffening, the strangeness of the acoustic frequency, and is literally waking up physiologically to go on high alert. But let's dive even deeper into the labyrinths of neurology. There is an extra layer that almost no one mentions outside academic neuroscience circles. Have you ever noticed that if the baby's father is speaking, or a close friend you see every day, the fetus doesn't react with jolts, but often stops moving and calms down? This phenomenon relies on a mechanism called predictive visual and auditory processing. The baby's brain, weeks before being born, is already building an immense database of safe frequencies, repetitive heartbeats, and vocal timbres approved by you. If your heart beats calm and slow while you hear your husband's voice, the fetus engraves that voice onto its neural hard drive under the folder. Safe. No biological stress incoming. No need to activate the sympathetic nervous system. And the shocking part? This isn't just accidental learning. This is pure evolutionary engineering under construction. Think about it from an anthropological perspective. 500,000 years ago, on the African savanna, the clan the mother lived in was her only source of survival. Recognizing the voices of the tribe against the noise of predators or rival hominids wasn't just a neat trick. It was the literal difference between living and dying. The fetus was already learning to tolerate familiar voices so as not to trigger useless and energy-draining motor responses of alarm. If it spent energy kicking or producing adrenaline every time it heard the grandfather cough in the clan, it would have wasted vital energy needed for the development of the fetal brain. It conserved reactive activity for the moment the maternal hormone signaled a potential problem. That's why the fetus kicking in the presence of the stranger on the subway or the boring coworker isn't being stubborn or spiteful. It's mapping out safety. It's literally test driving its survival equipment. You are synchronized chemically, psychologically, and ancestrally. But now I have to tell you the discovery that researchers describe as the most monumental in this field. The one that, when you hear it, makes every single fear of making a mistake seem insane. Because this entire predictive system, all this extraordinary biological architecture of voice measurement, warning kicks, and placental adrenaline relies on a singular structural foundation. It doesn't work in isolation. Your baby's entire threat decoding software is built exclusively around your biorhythms, your heartbeats, and your voice. If your blood chemistry signals calm, oxytocin and serotonin looping in your bloodstream, while a certain voice speaks, the fetus programs itself to believe that calm. In other words, before they ever touch the air outside of you, you are their translator for reality itself. Proximity to the mother, or more accurately, the synchrony and electrochemical mirroring with the mother, isn't a bonus bond. It's the central operating system. Your fetus is measuring your heartbeat against external voices and calibrating how to react. You are not merely carrying a baby. You are the true north of its moral, biological, and neural compass. You are literally acting as its external brain, drafting the very first blueprint of its perception of safety. Every time you take a deep breath, every time your heart rate drops when you hug a loved one, you are installing the physical and architectural fibers of resilience inside that child's head. That is how important you are. That is the evolutionary power you carry. And if there is one clinical warning to take away from all this, if there is a single risk, it's ignoring the enormity of what you two are doing together. Don't listen to those who tell you that random kicks are just gas or uterine gymnastics. Your baby's body does not waste calories. Pregnancies do not tolerate waste. There is a perfect geometric, chemical reason behind that stubborn movement as soon as the noise becomes unknown. Your chemistry permitted it. If you see an unusual reaction from your fetus, trust it. Listen to it. It is reflecting something of your own physiology. And know that the reason why, in the first month after birth, a baby seems to hate anyone holding them except you, is not because you are better at rocking them. It's because their brain was programmed in the dark by a single vibrational track, your voice and your body. If this science has changed the way you perceive that annoying sidekick, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment if you've ever felt this mix of embarrassment or pride when your baby rejects a stranger with kicks but rests completely motionless at the sound of your voice. And if you want to understand why labor and delivery strike in the vast majority of cases at exactly 3 a.m., that is the focus of the next video. I'll give you a hint. It has to do with the savanna and predators. The science of what happens in your womb is stranger and more majestic than any fairy tale you've ever heard.